Hey guys, so for my next two bets, I'm betting 5,000 on Errol Spence Jr. money line against Manny Pacquiao, and then I'm also betting $800 on the Fury Wilder fight to go over 7.5 rounds. So, the first bet is the Wilder Fury fight, which is on July 24th, and then the second bet is on the Errol Spence Pacquiao fight, which is on August 21st. So, the big bet is the one on Errol Spence. So, a few things. So first of all, for that fight, the odds opened at Errol Spence at minus 600, and since then, money's been going on Pacquiao, and they've gone down to around minus 400. I think the money's going to keep going on Pacquiao because he's a fan favorite, and people love betting on him. So with that fight, I would say pretty much just wait till the last minute to bet on Spence. I'll probably bet the Friday or the Saturday of the fight, so I'm just going to keep waiting. I'm hoping the odds get to 3-1. I don't think they're going to go get worse. So, like right now they're at 6-1, they're going down to 4-1. Maybe it'll go down to 3-1, but I don't think it's ever going to go back in the opposite direction. So I think waiting is probably your best bet. The fight against Pacquiao is an interesting one because, Pacquiao's 42. He hasn't fought in 2 years, but he's looked good. He looked good in his last fight against Thurman. And, with Pacquiao, you never really know with him because he really is like a super athlete. I don't know. One thing with Pacquiao is, like, for example, I remember hearing, like, his wrist is thicker than the average heavyweight, right? And, if you watch, too, in a lot of Pacquiao fights, like, some of the knockdowns that come to mind, say, against, like, Mosley or Vargas or even Thurman, if you watch some of those fights, it's like he knocks the guy down and the guy even sees the punch coming. So you can tell that he's constantly kind of surprising people with how much power he has, right? And then he really is a superb athlete. So with him, there is always some kind of risk because, he really is just like a legend, Pacquiao, right? But with Spence, he's young, he's undefeated, and Spence too. I think he's like a super athlete. He's really big for a welterweight. And Spence is someone I really believe in. I've bet on him a few times. I bet on him against who have I bet on him? I bet on him against Porter. I've bet on Spence against Mikey Garcia. I bet on Spence against Ocampo. So yeah, Spence is someone I've always bet on. I'm going to keep betting on, and I really like this fight for him too, especially just because Pacquiao is such a fan favorite, and the odds are probably going to be way closer than they should be. I really like Spence too because I think it's just a tough matchup for Pacquiao. Even if you look at Pacquiao's last fight against Thurman, that was a pretty close fight. I think Pacquiao did win, but as the fight went on, you could see Pacquiao having trouble. At this point, Pacquiao's fought in 2 years. He's 42. Spence is young. He's in his prime. I give Pacquiao a puncher's chance for sure because, he's Manny Pacquiao. But at the end of the day, I really can't see him beating someone like Spence. I think it's a pretty safe bet. I don't know. The way I see it, I would give Spence at least a 95% chance to win this fight. So yeah, I would just say, wait. Even there's no rush to make the bet. I would say just wait, and probably if you make the bet as late as possible, I think the odds should keep getting closer and closer to even. So yeah, hopefully by the time of the fight, Spence will be around a 3-1 favorite. For that bet, I'm going to bet it mostly on PokerStars, and then I'm also going to be betting it on Bet365 and Pinnacle if you want to use those sites as well. The other bet is I'm going to bet the Wilder and Fury fight to go over 7.5 rounds. So this is the third time they're fighting. The first fight went the full 12 rounds, went to decision. Wilder knocked him down in the 9th and the 12th. In the second fight, Fury won when Wilder's corner stopped it in the 7th round, and Fury knocked Wilder down in the 3rd and the 5th. With the third fight, I remember I was watching with my friends, and I remember saying right away, I thought something looked off with Wilder in the first round. I kind of felt like he was in trouble, and then I said it again in the second round. I was like, yeah, something's not looking right with Wilder. I'd be a little worried. And then he went down in the 3rd. He went down in the 5th. Fury really put the pressure on Wilder was looking pretty awful, and his corner stopped it. And then, I mean, after the fight, Wilder's excuse was, well, I wore this heavy costume into the ring, and that's really weighed me down, and my legs were exhausted by the time I got to the ring. And I mean, if you think about it, it's a pretty dumb excuse, because when he put on the costume, why didn't he just think to himself, like, oh, this is too heavy, and take it off? Instead, he decided to wear it for his long ring walk, even though it was really heavy, and then he said he was exhausted when he got in the ring. I mean, I kind of believe him. I think it's probably true that he was exhausted by the time he got into the ring, which is pretty dumb, but, I mean, yeah, I think something must have messed with his performance, because he did perform pretty bad. And, I mean, even with everything, it still went 7 rounds. So with this, the over-under being 7.5, I mean, I think, and pretty much Wilder's whole career kind of feels like it's at stake at this point. I think it's unlikely that it's going to be like a repeat of the last fight. I think it's going to go longer. If I had to guess, I think Fury probably wins a decision, or maybe a really late knockout, like 11th or 12th round or something, or maybe Wilder knocks him out, because you never know with Wilder. I mean, he punches so hard. But, yeah, I think it's a pretty safe bet. I mean, I'm not betting that much on that one. So on that one, I'm betting 800 to win 670 on the Wilder Fury fight to go over 7.5 rounds. And with that fight as well, I'm betting it on Poker Stars. So yeah, that's pretty much all for now. The main thing is the Pacquiao Spence fight. I really like Spence, and I would definitely recommend betting a lot. I mean, I'm betting 5,000, so it's a big bet. It's pretty much the first big boxing bet I've had in a while. I think the last time I had a big boxing bet was probably, when Mayweather fought McGregor, where I bet over 10K on that one, so that one was big. But yeah, so I haven't had any big boxing bets, but this one I'm very confident in. I like Errol Spence a lot. And, I mean, I guess if I had to predict how the fight's going to go, I could see it maybe being a late stoppage or Spence getting a decision. I think it's really unlikely Pacquiao gets a decision at this point in his career. I mean, he's old, and, I guess they want to build Spence up and have make him a star and have, big fights with him in the future. So unless Pacquiao were to knock out Spence, which I also think is very unlikely, then, yeah, I definitely think Spence is winning this fight easy. Most likely pretty easily. And, I could see him winning a decision, maybe a late stoppage. I mean, I guess it'll depend on how good Pacquiao looks. But yeah, I guess that's all for now. Just say bet big on Spence, money line against Pacquiao, and then if you want, also bet a little on the Wilder Fury fight to go over 7.5 rounds. All right, that's all, guys. Have fun and go make some money. See you guys.